Hi there, this is Jane here from Crystal Sparkles Readings. I'm just going to have a little shuffle and put down our card for the day using the black and white Faulkner deck as usual. So just going to have a little shuffle, see what we've got. Hi there, thanks for joining me on Periscope. Okay, so I'm just going to pop our card down. Our card for the day is the Four of Swords. Now, the Four of Swords is a card that is talking about needing to take a step back and maybe get some rest and some extra sleep. Now, interesting that this card comes up the very day after the clocks have gone forward. Now, most people probably don't even notice that hour, but for me, it feels like jet lag. Okay, so it's weird. So it just depends on your vibration and your energy and all of your sleep patterns and things like that as to whether that affects you or not, that kind of extra hour. But it certainly does me. So I always say to people, just be really gentle with yourself when the clocks go forward and back, because it kind of does give us a bit of a weird jolt sometimes. And the Four of Swords talks about that. It talks about things that might be keeping us awake at night, affecting our sleep, worries, all of that kind of thing. But it's also a really interesting card because it's a card of no action. This card says take no action. If you are looking at a scenario that's going on around you and you're kind of desperate to muck about with it and fiddle with it or make it work or push it along, today is not the day. Okay, when the Four of Swords comes up, it says take no action, step away from the flame, just allow the situation to evolve on its own and take its own natural course. Don't let it bother you, worry you, keep you awake at night, have you tossing and turning, overthinking things. Just let it go. And I'm aware that what I'm saying is very simple in words and not so simple in actions. But it's interesting because I was literally just doing a reading for somebody where a lot of their energy was being spent out on doing. And hence they end up worn out. So I was kind of saying to them, you know, sometimes we have to take that little step back and just allow a situation to evolve on its own. And that can be quite traumatic for us as human beings because we like to feel like we're in control of everything. Really, the sooner we realise that we're not, the better it is for everyone. So if you find that you're in that place where you are overthinking things and worrying about things, physically move your body. So if you're sat in your sofa and you kind of have these thought processes and they're going over and over, physically get up and move from that sofa to your kitchen, get yourself a glass of water, to your bedroom, go and sort some things out in there, to your shower, go and have a shower. Anything to physically remove yourself from the place that you've spent most of the time worrying. It's a really interesting technique that works. Probably doesn't work for everyone, because I haven't spoken to everyone in the world, so couldn't possibly say where it works for everyone. It certainly works for me, and I've used it a lot as a technique with people that have got into this overthinking mode. And just being able to physically move and go and get yourself a glass of water. I always think having a glass of water really helps to do that because it helps to cleanse you. You know, you can visualize the water cleansing your body, cleansing your mind. So when we're in that overthinking energy, really good thing to do is just physically move. So for today, don't be tempted to push anything too hard, including yourself. It's a bit of a day of taking it, you know, letting things evolve on their own rather than feeling like you've got to rush on and do it all. And also kind of try and get your energy into a place where you're not overthinking and worrying. Just having a little shuffle with the Animal Tarot deck that I've just started to work with and see what we get with that. I'm going to have a little look and see what this is today. Oh, this is Goose. I think we might have had Goose before. So the Goose talks about your home and your family, basically. You can see the Goose is there looking after her chicks, and it's talking about, you know, your home, your family, your kids, your inner child. You know, not all of us have children, so it's about nurturing your inner child. It's the Six of Summer. This is very similar to the Six of Cups in the ordinary tarot. So it can be talking about things like nostalgia and the past. When this card comes up in connection with the Four of Swords, to me it's saying you might need to let go of some of that past, because some of the past is affecting your present. Okay, so the past will always affect us to a certain degree, because you can't completely wipe it out, but the important thing is taking the lesson that you learn and the important stuff that you learned from things that happened in the past that can help you progress, but not taking with you all the pain. So it's about leaving behind all the stuff you don't need anymore and just taking the lesson that maybe you do. And or maybe looking at the past in a slightly different way as well, and being able to kind of reassess it and look at the situation. Maybe there's a situation in the past that just really bugs you still. And maybe being able to look at that in a slightly different way might leave you in a different place now. I watched Colette Baron-Reid's weekly guidance, and her centre card was, I think, the owl, and the owl talks about that as well. So it seems to be a bit of an energy that's around at the moment, this kind of needing to kind of let go of anything from the past that isn't really serving you too much, and also being able to maybe visualize that and look at that in a different way, being able to see it in a light that means you don't have to carry it around with you. Okay, so for our last card today, I will pop down an oracle card. These are the energy oracles. I'm going to put down this one. Okay, so we've got, in this card, we've got adjacent possibilities. So the adjacent possibilities is a really, really interesting card, because it talks about not being so focused on one thing that you don't notice all the other opportunities that you've got around you. So sometimes you get a bit tunnel vision, and this card is saying don't have the tunnel vision, just go with what you have and be open to looking around you and seeing what other opportunities there are. So the numerology is quite interested in this, because the adjacent possibilities is the card 24. If you add that together, you get the 6, which we've got here. So that's a nice, interesting... I'm working with numerology a little bit at the moment, because I've just recently done a workshop. So I'm kind of noticing the numbers. So yeah, I kind of feel like the 6 again is significant. That's been significant for the last few days when I've been looking at things. And the 6 is about this kind of energy, the family and all of that, and also harmony. And if we have the harmony, then we don't need to be carrying around this Four of Swords, restless, sleepless nights, worrying energy. So they all kind of tell quite a nice story today. What I would say is, for today, as a quick overview, is to try to kind of let go of your worries, just let things evolve naturally. Have a look at the past, see if there's anything that you need to let go of, because once you do that, then you open up all these different... You become aware of these possibilities that you might not have noticed because you've been overthinking, or you've been carrying around some stuff for the past that's blocked you. So really, really lovely cards for today. I will leave that with you, and I will be back again tomorrow to put down another little card for the day, and I will speak to you then. Bye for now.